Welcome back to another episode of Business, Banking and Beyond. Today we are joined by a truly inspiring entrepreneur, Lavanya Kokane. Lavanya is the founder of Blush & Curl, a successful beauty brand with 3 branches across the UAE, a travel content creator and a fashion influencer, a passionate woman entrepreneur with nearly 900,000 followers on Instagram. Lavanya's journey is not just about building a brand, but it is also overcoming significant challenges along the way. From the early struggles to establishing Blush & Curls to balancing her work life as a business owner, a major social media presence, she has faced it all with determination. Today we'll be discussing how she handles all those challenges, the importance of finding work-life balance, and how being mindful of the content she creates and has played a crucial role in her success. She will share her thoughts on the power of social media, how it has helped to grow her brand, and why staying authentic is key when building a loyal audience. Lavanya will share her strategies on creating impactful content, her views on women empowerment, and how to lead effectively in business. So let's get started with Lavanya. First of all, Lavanya, thank you so much for coming at Business, Banking and Beyond. We have lots of things to discuss with you.
Yeah, I'm grateful for having you on this podcast, Hemant, and I look forward for an interesting talk together.
So first thing, which even I am so passionate to learn from you, what have you learned and how was your journey from India till here, and what all things you have done towards this journey?
So basically, I was born and raised here in Dubai. So you can say I'm a Dubai kid. Yeah, but my mom and dad were from Maharashtra and Kerala, mix of both. So I have the essence of both that, as a child, when I was getting raised, they had kept that culture between our house and, learning us, talking different languages between me and my sibling. So yeah, for me, Dubai is home, I would say. And I didn't feel much difference what happens back in India and here, because when we look at different festivals we celebrate, let it be Ganpati, which is our biggest festival, Diwali, we get essence of everything. And nowadays I think a lot more just came more vibrant compared to what it was before. So yeah, I didn't see much difference, but I would say like Dubai is more home for me.
Well, that is, I think, for everyone. Every podcast I'm discussing one thing, that when you were born and brought up here, but I came in 2015.
Okay.
So every expat coming to UAE has that feel that I will leave UAE in 2 years.
Yeah.
But no one is leaving UAE. No one is leaving Dubai. I think next 50, 60 years we are going to be here.
I agree to that completely, because a lot of people, they come here and this becomes home for them. It is because of multiple reasons that it is, apart from being the beautiful country in the world, I think it's the people that makes you safe, and it is safest country, especially for women. And you are free, you get everything, whatever you need. You have the best infrastructure, you have like good housing, you have everything that you need as a family. And also you can survive with a low cost of living as well,
Well, that's true. So Lavanya, how did your journey started from in UAE? You were born and brought up, then you started doing jobs. If you can shed some light, then how did you come to become an influencer?
So basically I was studying. I wanted to be a doctor always, but I could not complete my studies because I lost both my parents when I was 13. And I had a sibling to take care. So I would say I started working when I was 13 years old. I started working multiple things. I used to take English tutor classes. I used to do cooking in mass, all of that. And then, I did my studies at the same time along with it. So when I took a break, I was in India for a while, and then I came back to Dubai. So my job profile, I was working in IT industry in a security firm as a channel director for them. And then I, wanted to always do a business. So when I was working, I was traveling a lot. And when I got married, that became an issue because ek hafte or 1 week, I was like away from home. I was either in Qatar 1 week, I was in Bahrain 1 week, and I was not able to see my husband's face. So business idea came in because of this, that I decided, acha, if I'll have business, at least we will be together and I'll have a family, together. And the influencing journey, I would say at very young age itself, a lot of people tell me till date that, I influenced people in many different ways. So I think that was in me, but the spark of it came out when the business, in 2016, when we established the business.
So I would really like to know more about the days which you have mentioned that at 13, that thing happened. Then still you were handling a sibling and doing job, because these challenging times are something which everybody faces. How did you overcome that and then achieved so many things in life?
See, I don't have that time. I didn't had a go to do anything. So my only aim was that, I would not give up. I'm someone like that. I have never given up on anything since that young age. And I think till date, I'm not giving up on anything. So that one thing was there, I don't want to sit here and, be miserable in my life. So whatever work came in front of me, I decided to do it, which I'm not ashamed of it till date, because that only led me to experiences, that only led me to become a stronger person, and that led me to survive in any circumstances. So even today, when bigger things happen or a mishap happened, like COVID happened when we were opening our second branch, I was not worried because I knew I will pass this as well. So I think that is one thing everyone should keep in the time, that they say, tough time does not last, but tough people do. And I strongly believe that.
And you're a testament to that. So the quote is not just simply written. We have real living examples following that. I would again discuss on the same thing, that when you say that you took up any jobs, what was the first job? What was your go-to? Was it money or was it learning? And as a personal believer, I have a quote also which is there on my social media. There is nothing called waste in this world if you know the right way of using it.
Agreed.
And this is personally written by
Agreed.
I was in college when I wrote this. Some or the other circumstances were happening. So on the same note, I would like to ask you, when you were doing the first job, how it is helping you till date, and what was the go-to thing which you choose, which made you choose that job?
First job what I did was teaching English to people, because I was born and raised here. When I went back in India, there were a lot of people who wanted to pass interviews and go abroad. So I was like, 15, 16, and I was teaching like people who were carpenters, who were rickshaw drivers, who were working as chef in hotels. So I was teaching them how to speak English. It was very tough, trust me, Hemant, because the English that I learned here, and when you go back to India, you speak to them, but the best part was, yes, that time it was money, because everything that came to me was important. I was collecting it for my studies as well as for my sister. But at the same time, the happiness of them passing that interview and getting a job is, uncomparable to anything in the world. So that I used to do. I used to put henna mehndi for ladies in marriage function. I used to take big contracts and do that. I used to do mass cooking of catering people. Koi shadi or wedding would happen, they would call me and I would like cook for massive 50, 60 people. I used to take tuitions for kids. And then I started content writing, where you write captions for, like I've done for a lot of brands, but at the back end, because the money I would get was very small amount from an advertisement agency, but I would give that title to them because that was money, like as low as 700 rupees those days. So, but that money and that caption still alive in a lot of brand that I see around. But I had done that. Then I went on writing for website, content writing. Then after all these things, I joined as a counselor for students in a proper company. So I was doing my college and I was student counselor as well. And that was when I was like around 20, I think, 19, 20. And then I used to also, move in as a content creator, and I got a job as telesales executive from telesales, I moved into sales, coordinator. And then when I came to Dubai, I got a corporate job where again I was a sales account manager behind the phone. And then when I left my job before opening the salon, I was a channel director for Middle East and Africa.
My God. I can understand one thing here, Lavanya, which even connects with me as well, that whatever you were getting hands on it, you were doing it just because you had to take money for the next level to grow, and of course to help people as well. And I can see one thing more here, that there are many people who would take odd jobs at times in their lives, be it anybody in the world. But you were in English teaching, which is like something white collar, I would say, and on the same time mehndi and mask cooking as well. Were two completely different. But your goal was to really make money. And first thing is to create that capital so you can do much better things. Well, that brings me to the next question, which I had put up earlier as well, that how did these things help you till today as an entrepreneur, as a woman, what you have done that time?
So basically, those things are still, evolving. Like teaching part, I still teach my team and I educate people about the concept of our business, what we are in. And I think that's why we have been recognized in the region as well. The influencer part, again, it's a lot of teaching because you're giving out the world. You are telling them how you could be one of the inspiration. And there are a lot of people who are not able to take that small step that they want to move ahead. So I think in this whole experience that I have, one thing I learned in very early age of my life is not to give up. No matter what problem comes, don't give up. Follow your dreams, follow your passion. If you are in it, if you are the face of that thing, you will definitely succeed. And have faith. And it is not an overnight, magic that happens. You really have to faith. You have to have faith on that, and you have to consistently keep doing it. Because this, whatever I'm sitting here today and having a podcast with you, is because of the consistency that I've maintained throughout. And I think life can put a lot of things, throw things on you. You can be on a roller coaster ride. A small chain from your roller coaster can fall down. You could have a mishap, but still with that, you can still survive if you decide to do so.
Yeah, since you mentioned about influencer and personal branding, I would like to discuss this in detail because you are a well-known influencer in the region itself. As you have mentioned, with your persistency, you were able to achieve. So we'll start the process level if we can discuss. If somebody wants, like you said, you were a teacher, and somebody really wants to use the digital platforms to teach in any aspects, be it in lifestyle, food and everything, or a normal teaching, education, anything. It can be, influencer can be in any aspect. How can we start that? What were your steps and challenges?
So I will start with the challenge first. So I used to be a speaker when I was working, I could stand in front of 1,000 people and speak. There's no worry in that. But when it comes to camera facing, it's a very different game ball, because there was one first time I had to invite my clients on my first anniversary of the salon, and I had taken 50 takes. So by the end of the video, I was literally crying. My husband started telling people, what are you doing? You speak so well. Why not in front of the camera? The 51st video, if you will see on the YouTube, I have one kajal and one nod because of crying. I invited people. So after that, the fear was gone. The camera fear was completely gone. So I could stand and talk in front of the camera, educate people. So it started with that, where I was giving educational, videos about skincare, hair care, how could people do chemical free, the tips that they could take care. It was for the business because I was sitting there as a receptionist for 3.5 years. So I had to do that for my business. So it was through Instagram, through Facebook, through YouTube, whatever channel it came in. So slowly, I was getting approached by TV channels to talk on that. Now, when it comes to anyone who wants to do this as an influencer, because social media is a very, very strong platform, and I think everyone can use their voice. But be careful on what you say, what you speak, and what you're endorsing. This is very important. So if you are into a teaching field and you want to speak to people, it again comes back to the point that it has to be consistent. You cannot be putting one story today and sleep for 4 days and then, get up and put another one. Because you have to put stories every day. You have to post on your feed because this will bring out a lot of engagement, and you have to use the right hashtags and tag the right people. And it is not an overnight magic. It takes a lot of hard work. So,
Well, it gives me real goosebumps to know that a person having currently almost 900,000 followers, well known, was camera. Literally, camera was not meant for you, as you were saying,
correct.
but you really worked on it persistently and you made it happen. And that's what really gives me goosebumps. Can you tell me a little more on that? How did you, after that, what happened on that day? You said 55 shoots.
Yeah.
For an influencer, I'm really not able to digest this, but somehow it's fine. After that, how did you really work on it to make yourself so fond of camera and
So,
comfortable?
camera became my best friend after that. So I would just keep the camera in front of me and a ring light, and I will start shooting. So even if no one was there, I would just talk in front of the camera, and I would just, speak about anything. Maybe this unboxing video, maybe it could be about a product review, maybe it could be anything. So in 2020, which was the core COVID time when we opened our second branch, we actually did a small segment with women where we were bringing stories of women in COVID. Like a lot of them lost their jobs, a lot of them were facing so many issues. So during that time, one of the ladies, she told me she has a friend who has a restaurant, and if we could cover that. And that's how the food started.
Okay.
So that's how the first influencing, outside business I started promoting. So when I went and did that video, I got message from the owner that, we really had customers coming in. Thank you for the coverage. We didn't, because I do very, very detailed coverage. So I think that giving back to the community and the whole concept of doing that was to promote another business, because I know the pain of the business that we do in this region, right? So the whole point was how to help other businesses grow. That was the first motive that we had when we were doing the Instagram part.
That brings me again what you mentioned before this, that as an influencer, you have to really take care what content you're putting out, and you have to be mindful about it. So what's your advice to the influencers who are coming up new and starting up? Most of the times we have seen influencers just focusing on the entertainment part, but not on the education part. And you had a goal, but you had a goal first was your business, which is fine because you're trying to promote your business with the right thing, as you mentioned about the skincare and everything. But most of the influencers coming right now is purely entertainment based. So how do you balance that? What's your advice on that?
So I have been on both sides, I would say, because I work with influencers for our business and I am an influencer too. Now, you can get carried away with this thing very, very easily because you are abundantly, getting things that to promote. So you have to see what's your, the sense of title that you're promoting. If you're into lifestyle, if you're into fashion, then promote the things that looks good on the feed and promote the things that you think people would get influenced by you. Because yes, we all get influenced when we post something. I can tell that. But you need to see what you're promoting. Do not promote the things that you're not aware of. This happens a lot because sometimes if, let's say, a small ingredient, hyaluronic acid, it's a skincare routine. Everyone is using hyaluronic acid. Everyone is using vitamin C and everyone is behind collagen drink. But is it really good for you? So when you say influencer, you are actually influencing. So you have to be careful of what you're putting out. And to make things lighter, it's good to, have some entertainment videos, but without hurting anyone's sentiments. This is also very important. Some people just go out and see the news, and it is sad to see that they, make a big memes or they make music out of it and they post it. It's not funny. It can hurt anyone's sentiment. And I think you should be aware of what you're posting out.
So Lavanya, how do you plan your content? How do you research your content? And for frequency, you have also always mentioned that frequency, persistency is very important. But choosing the content, the quality, the quantity, how do you plan out?
So currently I'm filled with content because we do travel as well. Now, when we started, we were only food. So we used to do a lot of restaurants, like I said, promoting businesses, small owner businesses, they would send hampers and stuff. So I have to post about them. So when I post, I ensure that I put every aspect to it very detailed. Now, let's say you go to a restaurant, as a restaurant business, they are covering that whole area for you for a certain time, right? And they're blocking that for you. So they bring the dish, they explain you the dish, they show you the showcase. And if I go just put like 2-3 photographs and say, hey, this restaurant is nice, and next day I'm in a new restaurant, how would you differentiate this one from another one? So you have to put detail, at least speak about what they are telling, because this will also give an idea to your audience at how you do it. When we say, those efforts that a restaurant puts in, or any businesses, when they block that thing for you, like the way I do is like a lot of stories. So initially, logo ko, they used to have this problem that why am I putting a lot of stories, but when a business person looks at it, or the business who's invited us, like a restaurant who's invited us, they're very happy because I was going in very detail, and even I was trying and explaining as well. So for me, content creation is to give the maximum to a business who has invited us. Now, when we were doing travel, the places were away from UAE. So, people don't know these places. So we were going to hidden, places. We were going to hidden restaurants, and we were spotting different food. So people who were sitting here and wanted to travel to that particular location, I started getting massive messages asking how, where. So that also brings a lot of joy to me.
Well, Lavanya, on the same note, like you were mentioning, when you go in detail and you're trying to focus the aspect that the business is getting benefit out of it, are you doing market research after that as well? That what is the differentiation which it came after your post or your reel to the business?
I do before and after both. So before I go to place, I make sure that, sometimes the place that I've already been as a normal person has not been great. Not one time, not 2 times. So I don't endorse them. And I tell them my honest review that I will not endorse it because of XYZ reason. The simple reason is because when I go as an influencer, yes, they will treat me in a better way and know that. But I don't want to put out that kind of content out to people when they go and they have problems. It happens even after research. Now, post content, I don't need to ask them. Initially, I used to do that, but now I always get messages telling that, thank you so much. We had bookings, or people will message and tell me we booked to this place and it was amazing. And if it is negative, they also tell me the negative part of it. So I pass on the same feedback to the company, telling that, see, this is what they got, so please make sure it handles.
Well, we will speak about the benefits of influencer marketing, but one benefit which I have understood today from you, that as a business, me as a Dangad as well, when we do podcast, guests are coming here, we are learning something and we are trying to improve it. And when guest is telling us those things, we are noting it down. As business, as influencer, when you go to restaurant as well, sometimes even the restaurant owner is not mindful of those things. But when as a domination of an influencer is coming, he's improving business as well. So it's not just that you are dominating him, but it is serious service quality which you are delivering, and you're compelling the restaurant to follow that.
True. So 80% of the people, specifically when you talk about food, because there is n number of restaurants and every day new restaurant is opening in Dubai, or I would say UAE. So 80% of the owners, they get involved and they ask us, they pushed me, and I am very brutal in giving reviews and honest reviews. So if I don't like, sometime my husband would say, don't tell, it's okay, leave it, they did so much for us. But I would ensure that I give them that feedback because it is for their improvement. And I think similarly, it goes from my business as well. If anyone gives me a feedback, I learned, and I'm here today of the feedback that I received from my clients. If they would not have given me a feedback, how would I be knowing what I should improve, right?
No, well, that's important. Even the Google review ethos is somewhere the same. Sometimes the businesses are not willing to take Google review, just thinking that they will get negative reviews. But as far as the algorithms and reviews work, even if it is negative, you should take it.
Yes.
And feedbacks are really important.
Yeah, but sometimes Google reviews, unnecessary things also, we get reviews which we have not done anything. Like people use this as a tool to, harass you, I would say that word. And that's not right way, because if a tool is given, see, this is the whole point. As a normal person, when you get a tool, you don't know what to do with it. So sometimes when they come to our business and they don't get what they want, they try to use a Google review as a tool to say, see, I have this. If you don't give me this, I will use this, which is not the right way. But yes, whatever negative reviews come in, we always strive to work towards it, and it always helps. For me, I've learned this in very early stage. Every rejection I have, seen in my life, I have put that as a small ladder in front of me, and I've always stepped up to move ahead.
Well, I would end the Google review thing by saying I'm a strong advocate of Google review. The reason being is that yes, there are people who are using this against you without any reasons. They'll be always there. But when you have 200, 500,000 reviews, and out of that you have 2, 3, 10 people like that, the normal customers will understand those things, and it is completely genuine as well. You cannot make everyone happy, and some people will always use as a tool. But if you see the overall values of Google review, I think it really makes a difference.
100%. I mean, as a business, the Google reviews are very important. And even as a business owner, for us to overlook things and understand the detail of the reviews that every customer puts in, it gives you a brain shock to say, hey, look, there is something going wrong. So you have to see if your team is doing something. And it is good to give feedback to your team and improve the things. That is, changes are always good. It might not be easy, but it is always good to improve. And we have to do that.
Okay. So Lavanya, before we end the influencer thing, I'll ask one thing only to you. Give me 3 reasons to become an influencer and 3 reasons not to become an influencer.
Oh, that's a very tough question. So 3 reasons to be an influencer. First of all, the perks that you get in, the fame that you are in. Second thing is that you can use the social media platform to speak what you want to do if you know what's right. And third, and the most important thing is that you become like one of the person who inspire the rest of the world. So in whatever way you could, an inspiration always helps. I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of other content creators around. Now, the 3 reasons why you should not be an influencer. Number 1, a lot of work, a lot of work, and sometimes demands that you get to do things. It's maybe pulls you down. Critics or the negative, unwanted, comments that you get. Initially, it used to affect me, but now I really don't care. I've put filtration, so things go out. And the third thing, just don't do it for the sake of doing it. Like if you want to really be there, then you go ahead. Don't do just because others are doing it. So simple.
Okay. Now coming to the personal branding aspect of it. How as a business owner you get the help of the personal branding, the influencer which you have created, the community which you have created, and we can speak about your journey of entrepreneurship for the Blush and Curls.
So first of all, when Blush and Curls was born, that's in 2016, and I always tell it's my first baby, because we put a lot of effort to it. So the whole point was to bring this business up, and the money that we had as a savings, we put everything in there. So we didn't have any other option rather than running it and making it successful. But we didn't think that this will come to this level. Well, I would become the brand behind it. But it happened very organically, I would say, because when I was talking about Blush and Curls, I was talking about the services, I was talking about our concept, I was educating people, I was going to schools, I was, talking there. I used to go to radio, TV, whatever media it came through, I did all of that. Even I went with famlets in exhibitions, distributing people and talking. So like I said, organically, without knowing, I became the brand of my own brand. I became, my face became the brand. So today, if you search in Google blush and curls, you will see my face popping up. If you'll put my name, blush and curls come. So we are connected with each other. And I think this has helped in the influencer thing has really pushed into business because people look at it that way. Oh, this is Lavanya's salon and she has been advocating so much about clean beauty. So her products will be wonderful. Her salon will be good. She speaks about hygiene. She's promoting father business and she's being authentic on what she's saying. So that really put me back to, good business in blush and curl.
Your business started first, or you started focusing on personal branding first, and how really it boomed your business?
Business started first. I am known after my business. So it really helps. I always tell all the women who came, back in Salon, they wanted to do something new. So they always talk to me. We have this small chat. So I'll always tell them, you should go ahead and do it. Take that one step ahead and do it. And at the same time, I always tell them, if you are not going to be there, don't do it. If you're going to do a business and assigning it to someone else, don't do it. Don't fall.
Which is very normal in these kind of business, salon, restaurant.
Because people open it, they decorate it, hobby, and they have a manager, they have a team, and they're like, okay, we have put cameras, we have accountants, we will do our job. It does not work that way. You will see a very big difference when an owner stands in the business and when there is no owner at a business, because that passion is yours. The way you can bring the essence and passion and you can put it forward, it creates a personal branding for you as well as for your business. So I think when you do these kind of things, it's very, very important that as a person, you should put your foot first and you become the face of your brand. So everyone follows you.
Well, so in a nutshell, the personal branding is giving you two benefits. First is you really know your business well. You are together with your team standing there. Plus, it gives you a lot of marketing benefit in long term as well.
It does.
So now moving on to your entrepreneurial journey, how did this came? How did this idea of blush and curls came? How did you scale it from one branch to 3 branches now? What were the challenges which you faced during this?
So 2016 is when Blush and Curls was formed, and this is because of the love of science I have. I come from a medical anatomy, skin anatomy, medical background. So the whole concept was to open something that it was not done in this region ever. That was going 100% chemical-free products. So I do a lot of research that, there is about, in 2019, mid-2019, there was a study that came out, 62% of women who died out of cancer were salon workers.
Oh my.
Yeah, and it is a big number, underlying ratio where people don't understand the fuming, the gas of the toxic products that's used.
62% of total cancer, or is it a specific cancer?
Specific. Like they have lung cancer or they have skin cancer. So it's mix of everything, but it was shown that this was by salon workers and because of the toxic chemicals that they inhale every single day. And this part, even before this study came, I wanted products that will not have any kind of chemicals inside the salon. So it is safe for my team who's working. It is safe for pregnant ladies, breastfeeding moms, kids, and teenagers. So we decided to I came up with this concept because I was working in a corporate as a channel director, good money, good salary, everything was set. But then when I came with this concept of business, and that took the first branch we wanted to do in Gises, where you have like a lot of small salons around, we were not sure if this would work because this will require a lot of hard work. I knew it. And the products that we were using were not known in the market. So to change that shift of women, and very difficult, I would say species in planet Earth is women, to change their mindset from one to another, it was very difficult thing. So I used to sit there in the reception. We didn't have any reception. We were a team of only 5 girls. And there were instances where, some of my team members did not, turn up. So I had to do the facial service as well. But this whole educating process today has brought us, when I look back, we have loyal clients since 2016, and it just, spread the word of mouth. And we have more than 240 plus post-cancer survivors who come to us, where the doctors have approved that they can go because there's no chemicals in our product. And we have been awarded and recognized by many entities for this concept.
Well, this is not a small thing which you have mentioned so humbly. I really want you to say some more things related to how you created these products or from wherever you are procuring these products, and how doctors or some authorities are really advocating and certifying these products.
So first of all, when you look at a straightening product, that most of ladies want straightening products, there's a chemical called formaldehyde. Now during those days, it was widely used in everywhere. So when someone does a straightening service, a lot of gas and fume goes out. So this formaldehyde is a odorless, it's a colorless gas, which is being used to preserve dead bodies, by the way. And in carpentry job. So when you have a carpentry job at home, people would say, don't stay at home, go out, because this is not good for you to inhale. Imagine this is the same gas that they're using in straightening products. And when you do it, people are crying, women are crying, there's an suffocation, no sleep. And when they can go back at home, even, people around also feel this fuming thing. So this was a very bad, toxic, that chemical was used in straightening products. So when we started, we brought in products which had no 100% formaldehyde free. And it was very difficult to find those days. Now you have a lot of brands who came up with this, because as per EU standards of cosmetology, they have completely banned formaldehyde usage in any of the products. But since there was a mass production of all these products which is out in the market, what can they do? So then a lot of salons started using it, or they were selling in different online platform. People would buy it at home and use it. So this was just one chemical I've told, but there are like n number of other chemicals that's used in color. Now let's say in color, a lot of people say ammonia free, right? Because that's how commercially we know ammonia is the enemy, but actually ammonia is not the enemy. The enemy behind hair color is PPD and PTD, where no one speaks about it because that's there in all the colors. So people don't know about it, but now there are a lot of awareness video people are sharing on, on social media. So they are aware about it. So this is how, a small research that I had to do. And a lot of challenges came around because the brands, would come in. They would take advantage of you. You are a new business owner. A lot of companies would come. They would take advantage of you, saying, take it because, but then we had our own challenges as well.
So how did you procure this product, and what was the cost difference in the market? How did it hit your profits and revenue in the first few years? Of course, after that, you were able to create a niche and you are known for that till date. But starting few years, how was it?
Well, it was very, very bad, because what happened is that when you open a new business and when you have Salon, there are n number of companies that come to you. So first of all, marketing companies come to you. They'll say, we'll promote in Google. We'll put your listing there, here. So we lost a lot of money there. Then family people will come. They'll say, we'll print it for you. We lost a lot of money there. And then comes the product. Because as I said, those days, there were very few brands were doing this concept of chemical free. And they knew, okay, this person is looking only for this one. So they dumped a massive products on our head, which we were not knowing that should I have it or not. Later, I regretted of taking bulk product because a lot of money went in that product distribution. But slowly, when you look back, you'd learn, this is how you burn your fingers, and then you are cautious about how you are saving money and how you are not, looking into the brand. But slowly, as we evolved, as our names started growing, there were so many brands who started coming to us and they wanted to put trial. So I tried my product by myself. We do the trial from, let's say, from 3 months to up to a year sometime to see if this really works in all the weather in Dubai. Because these products are coming from Europe, from Brazil, from Australia.
3 months to 1 year. What are these kind of products which take this?
Hair products, skincare products, nail products, but the most important thing is the skincare and hair products, because our climate is very different from what it is in back in Europe, and our skin, we have a lot of Asians, we have a lot of Arabs here, the hair and the skin texture is very different. So we have to check this even winter, summer, all the time, whether it is working or not.
Anna, you mentioned so many things about females, women's, that what should they use, the things related to salon. Why not males? Why don't you mention something about us as well in terms of using the chemicals when we go to salon and all?
Will tell you, when I do my educational video, it is generic for everyone. But it is very difficult to find a gent salon who is not using chemical-free products. So if I'm going to tell gents that don't go with all these things, maybe you guys will end up at home not doing coloring or stuff like that. But yes, awareness is something that you can, like I keep on telling about reading labeling and, looking at labels, being careful of the products that you use on your face. Yes, skincare products, it's easy because you can buy and use it. But definitely from blush and curls, a lot of women, they buy for their husbands, they buy for their kids, and they go and use it. So we get a lot of men coming back to us and telling, why don't you open blush and curls for men?
Of course, that's what comes to my mind first thing as well. Because when you have so many chemicals around, even if we go to salon, anybody of us is going to salon as a male, we don't check the labels. We are too lenient about it, and you are aware. So we never check those things. And I think somewhere it is hitting us in the long term.
Yeah.
So if we can get some more educational content on your channel about it, maybe we'll try to follow.
Yes, I mean, I do it here and there. I do a lot of videos about, how to go chemical free, reading the labels, especially sunscreen. Do you apply SPF, Hemant?
Sometimes.
See, that's the thing. So the thing with people are that they don't love applying SPF because it says that, if it is white, it's cakey, it becomes hot. So even in SPF, there is a chemical, even in SPF, I repeat, even in SPF, there is chemical that causes cancer, but people don't know. Now, when you go out, you might use SPF 50, if I'm not wrong.
I am not sure because as I told you, little lenient about
Okay.
it.
So SPF 30 is the maximum that you have to use on every day use. A lot of people use 50 or 100 because they think, the more the SPF content, the higher protection. But if you're going to use anything above 30 on a daily basis, it will produce more melanin and you will have pigmentation marks. This is a small tip that I'm giving. The second thing is to use SPF with physical filters. So read the label. If you see titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, this is a physical filter. That means when you apply an SPF, when you go out, the sun rays does not enter your skin. It just bounces from out. And it will not give you that hot feeling or the melting feeling that you have on your skin.
So I hope we'll keep on getting more tips on this. But for now, I have one more thing. Related to the scaling part, as we know that saloon, restaurant are a very initial capex business. We have lots of initial investment. So how did you overcome that, or how do you plan those things? And then how did you scale from 1 to 3 branches, not losing the quality? As you mentioned that on the first branch you were sitting yourself. But as a business owner, sometimes you lose track when you're scaling up. How do you manage these two things?
First of all, I would say I'm blessed and grateful. So Blush and Curls is a car. I am the front 2 wheels and my husband is the behind wheels. If he wouldn't have been there, Salon wouldn't have happened for sure. So he handles all the finance and, taking me into control of purchases that I do. And, in terms of what we have to do in marketing and how we have to move forward. Obviously, I'm in the fully operational control on understanding how the operation works and how we have to do the service. So the scalability obviously happened that, we lost a lot of money. We pumped in a lot of money and then we started getting it from the business as well with the marketing, with my influencing thing, with word of mouth and different kind of advertising we, brought in initially. But it was very, very difficult thing because when you lose money and you're pumping your own money into it, you don't know where it is going. So I will give an example in 2020. That was COVID, before it started, we were opening our second branch in Mankul. And we already paid to our interior designer. The work was starting and we were very happy. And then, lockdown happened. So when the lockdown happened, we came to know there are so many companies, work is still going on because they allocated certain work for people. But our interior guy ran away. So now we don't have money to pay him, and we hired new team, and we had only one business that was running, and we don't have money in the account because he also left his job and I am into business completely. So we started finding him. Where did he go? We went to, we put file complaint against him, and we came to know there are other 12 companies who are already put complaint against him. So they were like telling us, better you find and make him work. Somehow we got hold of this guy and we made him finish the work. And in June 18, 2020, we opened our second branch. Now the challenge was only 30% occupancy and only doing hairs and nails. Again, we go back, we have to shuffle between the team, we had to let go some people, and then we started doing. Like I said, going back to the first conversation, I don't give up on things. So I did not give. I was sitting every day from Mankul and I was the driver to do drop off and pick up for my team as well, because no one was ready to do that at time. So these small things, I think that we put in helped us in a lot of scalability. And again, in 2021, we opened up Varsha branch. And in 2021, we moved to a bigger branch from old Gises to the new one. So I think the finance, the control of, what we spend and policy, there are some loose ends because it's salon business. You can have a lot of perishable stuff. You can have waste of thing. But when you have a right accounting and you have a right finance, thing that's going on, it will help. And I think all that headache stuff, I leave it to my husband. He does it. He tells me to get involved and, to understand. I understand that. I know what he says, but sometimes I try to take advantage of him, of doing things that I wanted to do inside the salon.
So if I have to summary up related to the scalability and running this business, can you tell me 3 things which we can be mindful?
So first thing is to see what you require in a business and then, control those things. Like for me, it was controlling the products, bringing down what I actually required and removing all the unwanted stuff that was not required. Second thing is that, bringing a revenue for the staff that they could also earn and not giving like above the market demand, so that, when problem comes like COVID came, I didn't have to, remove anyone because I was not able to pay. So we always try to tell that we wanted to pay you guys on time, and so we don't want to give anything that's over-committed that will cause problems for you and us. And the third most thing is that there might be some things that will go as a wastage, you will lose a lot of money, but that ratio should not be very high. You have to know that where you could cut down those things and where you could cut down. But sometimes you have to maybe close one eye and let go few things, because that's how business operates, I guess.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and hope a lot of businesses will get benefit out of it. Now brings me to the most favorite thing of my life as well, and whenever I see a woman entrepreneur. Tell me how difficult it is, how good it is to be a woman entrepreneur, and what challenges you face as.
See, first of all, being a woman itself is like, a confidence by yourself, because she could do a lot of stuff that men can't do. I would say that, because we are multitasking most of the things. With all due respect, things cannot happen even without a man behind you. I must admit that fact, because I am the example for that. But as women, we always have this constant fear of doing things, and a constant fear we will get judged, and whether we would stand out in, wherever we want to be. I've seen a lot of women, especially when I say they are working or they are homemakers, and doing homemaker is not an easy job as well. It's a big job. So they have a lot of small ambitions, small passion that they wanted to put into business and work, but they are not able to do it because they feel fear and they think they cannot do it. So I just wanted to tell that fear has to let go. So if you love something, put that into work, try it out, talk to people, come out of the nutshell, because change is not good, but it is good for you. So if you love to do something, close your eyes and take that leap of faith. And I think that will help to grow. So yeah, for me, that was one thing. Second, for me, the transition from a corporate world to a salon business particularly had a lot of backlash as well, where people were judging me, thinking if why I'm doing this, parlor or salon business generally. So leaving a good job. But I think that gave me a lot of learning, because I was communicating with people. And when I look back, I think that's the best decision that I've taken in, establishing a women-owned business. Because here I'm not only, managing women, but I'm also entertaining, talking to people who are women, who come to me as a woman, and a lot of stories I could hear from them, speak about them. But also when you go to a table or a round panel discussion, sometimes I have faced backlash there. Like, let's say there was a community where they invited me because I was one of the awarded entrepreneur as Global 50 Women. So they wanted to interview me. So when they got on the call, as soon as they said Salon, the guy on the other end said, okay, we'll talk later. And he disconnected the call. So I felt very bad. Like, why am I getting judged because I'm a salon owner? Don't think I'm not educated enough to be a panel person with you. But then when I wrote them, and I am not someone who give up, so I definitely went back to them and I told them, this is not how you treat any business. A person who runs a grocery or a cleaning company or a salon, you need to have equal respect for everyone.
I think the person is very much mistaken. I would like to quote here Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, the owner of Bajaj. And I have lots of quotes here, lots of examples here. But I would quote him of a recent conference which he has done, where he mentioned clearly that if McDonald's, who's selling burger, and a fast food company, a Starbucks who's selling a coffee, can make $1 billion business, then why not Bajaj? So that is one example which he was quoting, that every business can be made big and has to be taken in the same level of be it white collar, blue collar. I don't see this differentiation. If you are right operationally, if you know everything about your business, it can be a $1 billion business. Sorry, you can continue.
Yes, so I mean, this is something that, sometimes you get judged. First of all, you being a woman and you're at the front end. Second, of the business that you have. So for me, I just want to say this could be an example of, this could be an experience for any lady who's coming up, because things are not going to be okay. But the first thing I learned in my early age was that to accept rejection. So if you accept rejection more than acceptance, I think you'll be fine to move ahead. So for me, every rejection brought in a step to move forward. And I think I always tell all the ladies, and even for people who want to open a business, that, accept your rejection with full faith of how you're going to accept it for acceptance. So if you go to a place and you go with your concept and you say, I want to sell my products here, they would say, no, we cannot have you because you are a new business. That happened with us. So like, I wanted to have certain brands on my salon because I love that brands, using them when I was not a business owner. But they rejected me. Number one, me being new business. Number two, I am a woman. Number three, I am opening a salon gise. So I got judged by all the factors. But today, and 10 years of business, they come back to me every month, knock the door and say, hello, we want to sell our product. But it's too late. So never judge a book by its cover,
Lavanya, if I had to summary up the woman empowerment, which I am also a strong advocate, being a founder and a husband of CEO, I really believe that women can do everything. And I'm not just saying for the sake of saying it. I have really seen it. But the only thing which lacks, and I'll be very blunt about it, for all the women, I feel that there is a fear. And that's the only reason that there is something we call that the husband is behind or the men is behind to support. And their women's having fear is justified as well because of the societal pressure, the judgmental thing which you mentioned, and the risk-taking ability goes low. Where men's are so risk positive that they can really do anything because they are not going to be judged. So that is the only thing which is lacking. But I'm still a very strong advocate of keeping women's at the workplace. Just like society becomes better when you have women's there, I believe workforce becomes better as well. Currently, Dangad stands at around 55% women workforce. We are trying to inculcate more and trying to bring them on strong leadership positions. And I've seen really getting fruitful results of that. We have our India regional manager, which is female, running from more than 3.5 years. Very happy about it. So I always see the sense of responsibility in the woman is also much higher. So I'm very fond and I'm really glad that I am also under a leadership of a woman, which is my wife. So that brings me to one important thing related to husband, wife being co-founders or being powerhouse couple of the business. Lately, we have seen in Shark Tank of India, Shark Tank of US, anywhere you name, couples are taking up the businesses. So I know that it is really fruitful, but how you can really share some of the insights that being couple in the business, how it helps. And then the second side of the coin, which women really like to discuss, how do you balance your life? How do you balance your personal life? Because sometimes it goes for a toss because you're in business and personal together.
So, like you said, couple in particularly, a lot of you see in a lot of business where successful is because of the couple together. If we look at India, I think Reliance is one of the biggest example that we could see where both of them are very strong entity and in their own personal brand, they're doing very well. And you could also make it out like maybe the way how we as couple business people, we see. So one, is having its own strength, the other one is having its own strength. So I think this is co-joining with the balance part of it is that, you need to understand it cannot be like a lovey-dovey conversation all the time because you will have your own, set of mind. You would have your own ideas. He would have his own ideas and own set of mind. But then we come in between and we agree that, okay, this is where we have to do it because this is good for A or B, C reasons. So similarly, that's the reason that, you move ahead. You agree and you disagree on few things and then you come to a mutual understanding and then you move ahead. So like I have in our business, I have a lot of knowledge on the operational side of it, managing the team, what's happening inside and regarding the services, product decisions, all of that. And he handles all the back end of the, finance and, the visas and PRO and tech as well as the marketing advertisement for Facebook and stuff. But when it comes to marketing, again, I have to put my input. He puts his input because he is in tech side of it. So he gets a lot of idea. Initially, I was poking my nose in everything that he was doing. But now I understood that he knows what's best for the company because he is part of my wing. And I cannot fly if he is not there. So it's the same thing goes with mine as well. So he also stopped poking things in my operational side of it. So I think it's, you learn it through the curve of the business together. This is one thing. Now coming in balancing part of it, I'm a very workaholic person. So I wake up in the morning, I go to gym and then, I just go to all my branches and I don't see his face till I come back in the night. So sometimes it was very overwhelming because I don't get to spend time. But now at this point in time when we have successfully put like people to manage, we have put a proper reporting system. So we get a lot of input. I've trained people good enough, which I still do because they need a lot of boosting as well when they see me. So I try to relax and do things that I want to do. So it's a balance between doing influencing thing as well as the, the business part. And since we do travel because we are also travel content creator. So we traveled this year. We were invited by Bali and Zanzibar. So those, two places we had to go and come back and do things. So I think it's good balance now. By now, learned, where to give my time and take some time for us as well. So yeah, I mean, that really helps in balancing.
Well, travel is something blessing in disguise. You're traveling as well, and that's something job. That is something everybody would love about. And I hope I get those chances as well. But by the grace of God, we are getting a lot of chances together. But sometimes one thing which again I would discuss with you, how do you balance the personal life in the home versus business?
For me, I love cooking. Okay, and I do a lot of cooking. So recently we had Ganpati at home. So 5 days I was at home, and I think cooking is like a therapy for me. So we have every day like 20, 25 or more people coming, and I cook for all of them. So uh, I try and give as much time I can at home. We have a little pup, so we keep time there. We have our mom with us, so spend time with her, talk to her, watch movies together, go gym together, or when we are doing influencing thing, reviewing a restaurant, or let it be fashion or photo shoot. He's there with me. So while we drive, we come back. So one thing, I was asked a question in the recent interview that while we drive, what song do we hear? Actually, we don't play me song. We just talk. We just talk because we have a lot of things to talk. So we just keep on talking. Now it can be good. It can be argument. It can be anything, but we just talk. So this has been our pattern from like the time we met each other. And I think that itself is a blessing that I think most of the couples, maybe they have it or they don't have it.
Hopefully, everybody has it.
Yes, I
give
agree.
that word out to everyone.
It is very important to, communicate and talk what you feel and also listen what the other partner feels as well.
Lavanya, I have recently come across that you have been doing something in 2018, if I'm not wrong, related to some free services to the nannies. What is that?
So in 2018, there was an incident that two of the house help, like two ladies actually came into salon. They wanted to do eyebrows. They asked us the price and we said 20 dirham, and they wanted to walk off because they didn't have money to pay. So then I told them, okay, go inside, we'll do it. So they came back and they started giving me money. I didn't take it from them. But this thing kept on, coming into my head. So I went back home. I spoke to my husband. I told him, see, this is what I wanted to do, is give free services to the house help, because this is the least thing that they do in their, every day. They take care of our home, they take care of the kids, but they never get a chance to go to a salon. So just to bring one more point, salon is not a luxury for women. We don't do makeup all the time there. It's a need that every woman requires after a complete tiring day. She needs her own time, and that's why they can go to a salon. So I came back, I spoke to my team, and we decided, okay, we will give them this free services. And that's how we started this initiative. So we list down 4 luxury service. They choose one, they do this month one, and they come next month, and they do next month another one. So every month, like, they get to do a different service. And we have around 200 plus house help who comes to us. And if anyone has any house help they wanted to nominate, they can just give their ID across UAE. They can call and nominate us. So we received Global Humanitarian Award as well for this recognition. And this is just like a small giving back to community that I decided to do in 2018. And the joy and the laugh, the smile that they give after the service, it's incomparable, I think. And that's all we wanted to do.
Well, that is something really big which you are doing. I mean, it's just not a free service. I would like to quote a religious book here, which one of my colleagues taught me in the bank. In the Quran, it says that if a beggar or anyone who's not having money, is the least what you can give is a smile to someone. And you giving that joys and smile to people who are taking care of our babies, our kids and house is really important. Thank you so much on behalf of all of them. And thank you so much for creating that joy on their face.
Yep, most welcome. So I think something we could do as business people is to give back to community. This was the whole concept. So we are very grateful for doing it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.